We'll be at a function like this. I'm talking about overly loaded, and niggas still won't walk up and talk to nobody. Like, what the f*** you giving me a tripod, y'all? Like, what the f*** you came here for? Just not to talk to nobody?
Yo, I keep seeing this all over TikTok, social media. Women are asking, why don't men approach anymore? You want to know why? Because a lot of us got trained not to. Simple as that. I mean, yeah, back in the day, men would walk up, shoot their shot, take a risk. Cool. But now you approach the wrong one at the wrong time. Now all of a sudden, you weird, you creepy, you doing too much. I'm not talking about dudes being disrespectful. Nah, I'm talking about just saying, hey, how you doing? Now it's, I got a boyfriend. Why are you talking to me? You get posted online like you did something wrong. So after a while, dudes start thinking, why even risk it? Why even put yourself out there to be embarrassed or be labeled as something that you're not? Now, don't get it twisted. There is some weird dudes out there. I get why some women got that guard up, but not every man approaching you is on that type of time. So now we in this weird space where women are like, they want to be approached, and men are like, nah, I'm good. And then everybody's wondering, why don't nobody talk to each other anymore? I'm just saying, it goes both ways.
What happened to men pursuing girls? When was the pivotal moment that a man chose to not go after a girl anymore and put in any effort? It seems like guys can just put the bare minimum and not even really put in effort anymore. They don't really care to. Or they're like, why don't girls just go and make the first move and make the effort? When did it become a thing? Now it's like role reversal where they expect girls to be making the first moves, yearning for a guy and chasing him. That is, I feel like, the downfall of why it's so hard to meet someone, because men don't put in effort anymore, don't care to put in effort. And a relationship won't work unless the guy likes the girl just a tiny little bit more. He has to like her just the tiniest bit more for it to work in the long haul. So it would make sense if a guy really wanted to get to know you, that he would go leaps and bounds to get to know you. And when did that shift?
Because if a man persisted like that in today's dating world, he would at the very least be called a creep. And at the worst, he'd be going to jail. That is the reality that a lot of men face. So that, in combination with the fact that women are not really reciprocating effort and they're not treating men very well right now, there is a large group of men that are saying that it's just not worth it. And they would say that women have asked for it. They have asked men to leave them alone. So guess what, ladies? They're leaving you alone.
All women say they want a good man until they actually meet one and realize they're not equipped to handle him. A good man is not convenient. He doesn't bend to accommodate chaos. He doesn't rearrange his values because you're emotional. A real good man has discipline, boundaries, and priorities that don't shift based on your mood. And this is where women get confused. When you've never met emotional maturity, you misread everything. You call him cold because he won't tolerate drama. You call him selfish because he protects his peace. You label him detached because he refuses to beg for your approval. But that's not coldness. That is self-respect. A man who knows his worth doesn't move from insecurity. He moves from conviction. Good men don't chase drama. They don't chase chaos. And they sure as don't chase women who weaponize emotion. They build, they lead, they create order. Most women aren't ready for the responsibility that comes with a stable man, because stability doesn't feed your need for emotional roller coasters. It doesn't scratch that itch for unpredictable validation. For women raised in dysfunction, peace feels boring until you lose it. A good man requires partnership, respect, and a woman who's emotionally regulated, not reactive, not reckless. Stay solid. Good men don't bend, they build. And the right woman rises to meet him.
What are women lacking? Good attitude, Black women in particular. Let's talk about what's a good attitude. Let's be specific. Positive. Imagine that. Service-minded. Already those two disqualified a bunch of you. Helping and supportive. Confident. Confidence, not loud. Fair and just. Oh my gosh. I feel tired even just saying this. Accountable. Kind.
Why is it? It's sad that this is so funny. Kind. Responsible. You know what I'm describing, y'all? Pro-social. That's the opposite of antisocial. Antisocial doesn't mean you're introverted. Antisocial means that you do things that are destructive to society. Antisocial is also a personality disorder. Let me save that one. Your character, if your liabilities outweigh your assets, you're a liability. Someone would have to be dumb to get on board with you. We see it in the fruit. You don't prioritize your own personal character development, but you do focus heavily on getting the promotion, on how much money you're making. You're becoming consumed with achievement, attaching achievement to your self-worth. Most men don't want a pushover of a woman. That's weird. That's uncomfortable. Like, a man that has some character and values, that's a weird feeling to be able to just push women over physically, emotionally, mentally. Like, she can't hold her own like mental ground. That's a weird dynamic to be in for someone who is not like, who's like a normal person. That's a weird dynamic to be in. They're not looking for pushovers, doormats. There's a misrepresentation of being a type of woman that has a mentality that a man likes. Like, they make it so extreme. You must not like yourself. Like, no, I actually love myself, and that's part of why he loves me. Dummy. Y'all are confused. So confused.
If you actually love her, if you actually want to see her again, if you actually want to retain the relationship, don't talk to her. Don't chase her. Let her chase you. Because let me tell you, every time you pursue her, that's you loving her and not her loving you. You're the one initiating. You're the one double texting. She needs to be doing all.
To the men that date women, but they don't like women. They used to yearn for women. Now they're so caught up in what it looks like to the bros. I can't let the fellas see me loving this woman. I can't let them see me chasing this woman that I want. Too many of them date and pursue women based on male validation. Every day they pop up online talking about, well, if the bros don't find her attractive, then I can't date her. Are you dating her, or are the bros dating her? They're dating women based on group think. It's all a group project. She doesn't let you mistreat her. She doesn't like you or doesn't like you enough. You date with a chip on their shoulder. They want you to pay for every woman that ever wronged them, ever mistreated them, ever rejected them. Now you have to prove to him that you're worth him treating you well by letting him treat you badly? Can't get treated well because some little girl in the 8th grade dumped them. He's 40 years old talking about a high school sweetheart. You don't have to act like you're not interested. You don't have to ignore her. You could leave her alone altogether. This is the advice that keeps them single. Don't act interested. Don't act like you care. Don't pursue her. Make her come to you. Make these women crawl. Would ask how that's working out for you, but I think the male loneliness epidemic and the decrease in marriage rates and birth rates is my answer.
Honestly, I would never date a man under 6 feet.
Good thing I'm taller than that.
And his income has to be high, too. I can't be with a man who lives an average life.
What does average mean to you?
At least 6 figures a year. Ambitious, successful, good lifestyle.
Anything else?
Well-dressed, confident, knows how to lead, knows how to spend money on a woman. Basically, a man with status.
That's quite a checklist.
Because I know my worth.
So what do you bring into a relationship?
Look at me.
I'm asking beyond appearances.
Appearance is enough. Men always want a beautiful woman beside them.
So besides beauty, what else?
I bring feminine energy. I inspire men to do better.
Do you own a business?
I'm building my personal brand.
Stable income?
I don't need to work too hard when my man is capable enough.
Skills, experience, accomplishments?
Why are you talking like this is a job interview?
Because your standards sound more like hiring a CEO than finding a partner.
I just refuse to settle for less.
Yet you expect someone who meets every standard, while you've built almost nothing besides your appearance.
Are you insulting beautiful women now?
No. I'm asking what value remains when youth and attention disappear.
You know what? Successful men out there don't ask as many questions as you do.
Because many men pay for fantasies. I look at reality.
I still have plenty of options.
I don't doubt that. But attention doesn't equal long-term value.
So you think I'm not good enough for successful men?
I think your checklist is longer than the value you actually bring. And that's why you keep demanding more instead of building more.
These guys are running a game. Why are you dating women and you don't even like women? The same reason that these women are taking these men out for a foodie call. That's right. That's the thing. A lot of these modern women, and I know y'all don't like to admit it, are taking these men out for a foodie call. They're taking these men out for experience. They know that they don't like that man. They're doing the same thing. You mad at the man for pulling back and playing all of these tricks. Modern women are doing the exact same thing. They're doing the same thing. Oh, well, men shouldn't. Sure, they shouldn't. But why does it seem like you have men that majority of time, they got to take responsibility? It's got to be the man. It's got to be the man. If we ever going to get back to where we were as a nation, it's got to be the men that rise up and make a change. And the men make a change. Well, and when they make a change, we'll follow. How about you on your own? And this is what men are saying. How about you on your own? You just be a good person. How about you do that? And then that's going to coincide with, I think it was, well, the clip about talking about men are not approached. Oh man, we come to an event and we're mixing around and we're mixing and mingling. There's no reason it should be this many men here and none of them are coming up to talk to us. Because you're not a good person. That's why I keep on trying to tell you. Y'all out here acting a certain way. Y'all want men to go ahead and do the right thing. They intertwined. You got to be doing the right thing too. And you're not. Well, I ain't going to do the right thing until he does the right thing. Then he's not for you. Leave him alone. But you want the good man to come and get you and you not doing the right thing. The good man see that you looking at him and he said, oh, she focused on something that she not be focused. So if I get with her, she not going to be ready to go. I'm going to pass. And it's going to keep on, y'all going to keep on running in the cycle. That good man gonna go ahead and get married, and you still out here messing with Chad and Tyrone.
Well, we know that no one hates women more than other women, and in a recent study that will be shocking to absolutely no one, the results showed that male students show more tolerance for their political enemies than females show for their own allies. That's right. In other words, women are meaner to people on their own side than men are to people who sit on the opposite side of an issue. Look at this chart. What do you notice? Well, there is no overlap between the genders. Being a man is what makes you more tolerant. That's literally it. So that's probably why when we get home and complain about that bitch Becky at work and the men in our lives don't seem to care, it's not that they don't care about us, they're just unbothered, in their lane, moisturized, thriving. And in this specific study, men were 3.5 times more likely than women to be tolerant of someone they disagreed with. So basically, none of this is surprising, though I think the only people who will fight the results of this study are liberal women.
Half of Gen Z men no longer actively even trying to date. They're not even trying. And so the question is, well, why is that happening for women? Women, first off, are dating older. They want more economically and emotionally viable men, and that usually means older men. In addition, when young women are lonely, they have much better social networks. They have much stronger friend networks, whereas guys become kind of lone wolves and kind of literally sequestered from everyone and everything. Half of Gen Z men.
Imagine millions and millions of people watching you get humiliated for content. Christy and Desmond Scott. Now Chris just filed for divorce from Desmond, citing infidelity within their marriage. But they would call their relationship goals. And I'm going to break down for you guys, and I got the receipts to prove it, the video documentation, the social media profiles to show that this is a disaster waiting to happen. Now, my analysis is less on the cheating component. We all know cheating is not right. It's immoral. It's against their vows. I don't think that masculine men should be lying. I think that masculine men should be forthright with what they want. And she does goofy things, and you know, you could just see right there, bumps into him and he's sitting there looking like, why am I doing this? And him in the background, t-shirt, looking confused, right? Like she didn't look at his photo at all in the selection of this thumbnail right here. But you know, who cares about him? I'm the main character. Keep on going down. You'll see the next time that he's in it, kissing her feet while bending down and over, looking subservient. And I mean, why do photos like this have to reach public eyes? I don't know. Besides the branding of positioning her as main character, which many modern women want this branding for themselves.
Okay, this is option number 1.
It's a no. You can't even go sit nowhere like that.
What do you mean, babe? We can stand at the bar. You can sit and I can stand at the bar. Why? You're not proud?
Why would I be?
What is this supposed to be like before the accident? I'm in a tornado for real.
I bet you, behind closed doors, he don't act like this. But it's a character that has been created that he has to now maintain.
I think you look like a garden that got burnt. That was beautiful. Makes sense?
A garden that got burnt?
It's black flower, right? I ain't seen a black flower.
But you know what's the most damaging part of this? When she grabbed his face for attempting to make a joke, looks at him like he's crazy, and then grabs his face.
A garden that got burnt?
It's black flower, right?
As he cowers underneath her and she smiles. Young men, listen to me when I say this. This is the type of content that they want. These are the type of relationships that they want of you. This is why I continue to say that the majority of modern women today are not marriageable, because this is their standard. This is their goals. This is what they want you to amount up to. They hate this side of the internet. They hate masculinity or manhood focused content. They hate when I say anything. They hated when a Kevin Samuels would say anything. That's why they love that because through his, it represented their gaining of power.
Y'all know that if a woman tells you that
just another day in the office, view discretion is advised.
She acts different on liquor, and by different, you know what I mean, different. If she tells you that she acts different on liquor and you try to get her to drink liquor, you're a right? You know that, right? Yeah, you're
Sweetheart, close your mouth when you chew. The smacking of your gum is not making your mama look like she did a good job raising you. The statement is, if a woman tells you that she acts different on liquor and you try to get her to drink liquor, that makes you a... I think I only got one question. If you know you act different on liquor and you don't want to participate in your difference, why would you ever tell them? That's like me meeting a whole bunch of random women at a party and saying, yo, I love taking random women on shopping sprees when I drink. What do you think those women are going to do? I think there's a level of accountability that's not being addressed in this statement. Because yes, using someone's disadvantage to your advantage to get whatever it is that you want does make you a... But I'm trying to understand, why would anybody know that that is a disadvantage for them and openly share it? It's like handing a stranger your personal bank information thinking that they won't rob you. Yeah, technically they're a thief, but why would you ever put yourself in that kind of a position is what I'm trying to You know what, man, y'all get on here want to argue about nothing every day, man. And I'm tired of it. Fortunately for y'all, you ain't got to listen to what I'm saying, because I'm just a normal guy. Y'all keep the change.
And another reason is so many single dudes out here now, too, is because dudes are starting to realize, like, it's not much in it for me. And once dudes started realizing that, like, it's not much in it for them compared to, like, what they got to put out compared to what they're getting back, they just like, nah, like, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to entertain it. And once a lot of dudes stopped doing certain things for women where it was like, it wasn't too much in it for them, they wasn't getting, like, really no benefits from it, that's when women started saying, like, who gonna be the boys, and men used to go to war and all this type of stuff, you know, like, yeah, like, it's a different time period now. And, like, for the dudes thinking like that, they just became more selective. Like, it's not even about not wanting to be in a relationship and stuff. It's like, you just become more selective now on who you spending your time on and who you dealing with, you know. And that's another reason why, too, like, making pandering content is working so well, because there's so many dudes now where they're starting to come to the realization that a lot of stuff in relationships just isn't beneficial. The dudes that pander so much, it left that room to pander to women now, and they could just build an entire following and a cult behind that. But regardless, when it comes to, like, dating and relationships and like, it's still subjective to each person, you know. Like, someone else might have better opportunities when it comes to dating and finding better men or better women, you know, but it's all subjective in the end.
She wants to wear the pants in the relationship, but she also wants a masculine man. She wants a man to lead, but villainizes him every time he does. If you want men to act masculine, you have to treat them like men. You can't lead every decision, control the relationship, and then wonder why you feel exhausted, irritated, and unsupported. Masculine men lead, they protect, they provide direction. But here's the issue: when men step into that role, many women villainize them. A man says, "Don't wear that tonight," and he's labeled controlling and insecure, when he's simply just protecting. A man says, "I'm not okay with your attitude and is called manipulative, when he's just being clear about his expectations. A man says, I don't tolerate disrespect, and suddenly he's a narcissist, when in reality he's just practicing self-respect. This isn't oppression, this is just masculine leadership. Masculinity has been demonized so much that women want strong men but are not allowing strength. Control isn't femininity, it's wounded energy. It comes from fear, not power. If you don't trust a man to lead, that's a conversation to have, not a role to sabotage. You cannot emasculate a man and still expect him to show up as one. If you want a masculine partner, stop punishing masculine behavior and labeling it as these negative buzzwords. Even when you're single, let men lead, let men protect, and let them be men. Because what you honor grows and what you attack disappears.
Men like women who play hard to get, not those who chase after them. Or rather, men like women who are able to create a sense of alternation. You see, to make a man fall in love, what you need is to know which alternations are right, when to use them, and when to try them out. Obviously, also showing the other man within the relationship. For example, situations or moments when you are present for him, and situations or moments when you withdraw and pull back. This constant alternation will be the recipe for creating something solid in the long term. Yes, do you understand? Good. Because being predictable and letting yourself be seen as predictable won't get you anywhere. Men will take advantage of you because they'll take you for granted and put you on the same level as all the other women. If the perceived value you have and that you convey to others isn't high, and you do this through strategies, you won't make it. You'll be a victim of the waves, strongly discouraged. That's it. So very simply, if you want to know how to do it, we've created a free opportunity. To access my mind for 14 days, you can comment below with Ask FP. We'll give you free access so you can judge for yourself.
And I like what self-checkout was saying when he was talking about there's a level of accountability. I think that's what he was saying. There's a level of accountability that's not being talked about. There's a level of accountability that's not being addressed. And men keep on saying it. You guys keep on telling us we are not doing the right thing. We need to straighten up. We need to go above and beyond. And you got specific things that we need to do. Go to therapy, do this. You need to be doing, and even beyond therapy, you need to go to a world-class, world-renowned therapist and pay a whole bunch of money for them to reset your brain. I think there was a little thing in South or Central American country somewhere where a woman was talking about, I think I saw somewhere, she paid $13,000 to reset her body count. These women, this is the type of stuff that women want you to spend your money on. Stupid stuff like that. And only then, when you do that and we can verify it, that you've done that, will we trust you. Men, if you just if you start going to therapy and you say, I go to therapy, and you start using words that you would hear in a therapist, you're going to start getting women. Because they don't vet men properly. So once you say, I have the credentials, if you go to school and get a bachelor's degree, and God knows, get a bachelor's degree in feminism. You're going to waste your money, but you're going to get girls. You can get these modern women, you're going to pull them. Oh, he cares about feminism. Well, I'd say, okay, do something that you can make money on. So maybe business, accounting, finance, something like that. Whatever the career is, computer science or whatever the career is. And he's like, yeah, I did my major in computer science, but I did my minor in women's studies and gender studies. And, I did like a quadruple major in, the beginnings of whatever female stuff. That's going to pull them. That's going to pull them every time. Right. So I went to therapy now. It don't matter if it was a therapist that cost you like $10 every session, and you go once a month, and you in there for about 25 minutes every month. Just say you go to therapy. Just say, yeah, I did my minor in women's studies or gender studies or feminism, and I learned this. Or you don't really even have to do that. Don't spend the money. Find a book online or find a podcast and just kind of read the points enough to know, hey, this is what they're talking about. Shoot. If that's the case, we could just start a boot camp on that. We can start a boot camp on that. Hey, this is what these women want. Let's go ahead and give it to them. $5. $5. Men come in. If all you're trying to do is hook up with the woman, $5. Let's go ahead and get you the blueprint in. Let's get you some one-on-one training. With some one-on-one training, you're gonna have to charge a little bit more, but let's go ahead and start. Let's just give them what they want. And you're gonna be swimming. You're gonna be swimming in women, and it's gonna be great if that's what you like, right? I mean, you're probably gonna get tired of it, but if that's what they want, you go ahead and give what they want.
Look, can we stop pretending every man is a narcissist, manipulative, or toxic for just 1 minute? Can we stop pretending? Somewhere along the way, it became popular to talk about all the bad men, the cheaters, the liars, the manipulators, and those men absolutely exist. Don't get me wrong. But so do the men who stay, the men who work overtime so their family can eat, the men who sit in hospital waiting rooms all night, the men who raises children that aren't biologically theirs, the men who keep promises nobody sees, the men who get their hearts broken and still choose to love again. The truth is, bad men does exist. But good men do too. And the problem is, good men rarely make headlines because they're too busy being fathers, being husbands, being protectors, being providers. So if you got a good man in your life, sis, tell him. Because sometimes the men carrying the most weight hear the fewest thank yous.
She says you should feel safer with men around. IDK why women choose the bear. Goes for a bench press. Not gonna get it. Oh no, missed the lower set of hooks. Watch how long it takes for someone to help me get out of this failed bench press. Alright sister, let's see it. She's doing pretty well. It's not touching her neck. She's strong enough to avoid that. Looks like the plates are not falling off. I guess she has the clips on the bar. If you want to fail a bench press, by the way, by yourself, don't put the clips on the bar. And she got out of it though. Nice. So, not a massive deal. Was not in any major danger, it seemed like, which it could go bad. Guy walks by like nothing happened. It looks like by the time this guy walks by, you were out from underneath the bar and you had just set it back in the hooks. What did you want him to do? Come over and pat you on the shoulder and say, "Are you okay?" Then you'd say he's being an abrasive man who thinks women can't take care of themselves? Now let's read her caption. I don't post fails often, but this one was wild. One of the many reasons why I hate bench pressing. If you don't have a friend with you, to get ugly real fast. Watching that guy walk past was crazy though. According to this woman's profile, she is the lesbian community's favorite weightlifter and insecure straight men's worst nightmare. I like how you capitalized insecure straight men. Then this guy comments, no, this video is actually perfect. Going for a 1-rep max with no spotter, fails the lift and gets stuck, and guess whose fault it is? That's right, men. Who aren't even in the video. Woman puts herself in a dangerous position and blames imaginary men who aren't even there for it. And then someone says, meanwhile, she's dressing like a tough alpha biker man. Yeah, that's a common lesbian aesthetic.
So I'm leaving Target and I just had this thought, like, wow, it's just so many beautiful, educated black women in Atlanta. Like, what the heck am I doing here? Like, the pickings are too wide. It's not enough men out here. Like, no wonder why I'm single, because there's literally so many women. They could have a different, these men or women, whatever you like. I like men. So these men could literally have a different bed, a different nice woman every day. Like a good girl. Like, which states are the men in? Where y'all at? Where? Black men, brown men, white men, blue men.
And that's why most women are alone. Most women are bouncing guy to guy because men can see through their selfishness. You know, your actions are who you are. You can say you are caring, you can say you're this soft-spoken woman, but your actions are you. So if all of your actions are tied to yourself and building your own empire, building some sort of ego-driven purpose, men see through that because, quite honestly, men do the things that they have to do. Not every single man has the luxury to drop everything and go follow their dreams. But women, they'll do that in a heartbeat. Women will do that in a freaking heartbeat.
I know of 2 men who got into a big disagreement on the phone. And these men are like brothers. Big disagreements on the phone, certain boundaries were crossed. The intentions were pure. No one meant to cross boundaries, but boundaries were crossed. I promise you, within an hour, called up each other. They're like, bro, forget it, I love you. And what did I tell you? This could never happen with women. I promise you, women don't know how to let go of this. I wish it was possible for women to reconcile with such ease and just to facilitate life for each other. No, hath no fury like a woman scorned. But you know what? They need to put an amendment to that. It's not hath no fury like a woman scorned just in romantic relationships, even by another woman. She will go to her grave wanting to see you fail.
This is going to trigger a lot of women. And if it triggers you, that means it was meant for you. I don't avoid the truth just because someone's ego is not ready to take it. A lot of women proudly say I have standards, but what they really mean is I want a man who gives me everything while I give the bare minimum. You want a man who's emotionally mature, financially stable, loyal, masculine, emotionally intelligent, while you can't handle accountability. You don't know how to communicate. You expect him to read your mind. You don't want a partnership. You want a provider, a therapist, a mind reader, all in one man. You demand emotional maturity, but you get defensive the moment you're called out. You want consistency, but chase men who give you anxiety because chaos feels exciting. You say you want a masculine leader, but reject anything that requires you to show up feminine. You call it high standards, but it's really just entitlement. Standards aren't about what you demand from others. Standards are about what you demand from yourself. If you want emotional maturity, heal your triggers. If you want consistency, stop entertaining inconsistency. If you want depth, stop showing up shallow. If you want leadership, be someone worth leading. And that's why you keep getting hurt. Not because good men don't exist, but because you're not the woman your ideal man would choose. Build your standards on your character, not fantasies. Because when you call entitlement empowerment or feminism, it's not confidence, it's delusion.
Whenever women come online and complain about the level of attractiveness of the men that they themselves are attracting, I automatically assume it's rage bait. Because there's no way you lack that much self-awareness to think that you are so grand and above and beyond these petty little men that try and speak to you on a daily basis. Most men shoot where they think they're gonna score. Let's start there. So if a man is a 5, he's probably going to shoot for other 5s, 6s, 4s, maybe a 7 if he's feeling lucky. Most 5s are not going to shoot for 10s unless they feel like shooting for the moon one day. But on a day-to-day, most men are shooting where they think they're going to score. And yes, he looked at you and said, yeah, that girl's probably on my level. She might say yes to me. And if that offends you, feel free to look in the mirror and change some things. And we have to remember that we are not the ones that set our place in the dating market. We have this idea that we are all 10s out of 10s because I said I'm a 10, so I'm a 10. And that's not up to you. It's actually up to the men. And feel free to ask one to see where you rank, because those ones that are coming online and just asking random men, they are getting comments filled with things that are going to make them very insecure in the future, and I don't wish that on my worst enemy. So ask a trusted male friend, would you?
Here's the top 3 reasons that woman ain't dealing with low-effort men in 2026. Number 1, she ain't got time for it no more. She ain't got time for your texts that no longer land anywhere. Those acronyms you seeing, you don't even spell out the whole word. You seeing WYD every single day. She ain't got time for that. She ain't got time for these empty questions, these hangouts that never happen, these plans that are never made. She ain't got time for that anymore, because you know why? Number 2, she's making time for more qualified men. Men that actually want her. Men that know how to hold a conversation, know how to ask her on a date, know how to set a time that's assertive, that let her know that she is desired, appreciated, and respected. Because here's the thing, all that low effort stuff, that let's just hang out, let's just chill, why don't you come over here? to a qualified woman start to feel like disrespect. It's disrespectful that you don't feel like she's worth a date. Come on, let's just kick it. She ain't kicking it no more in 2026. And number 3, and most importantly, she'd rather invest that time on herself. She ain't low effort for herself. She high effort. She high effort in her maintenance, her self-care, her education, her work, her time. Everything she do is intentional. So what she look like spending time with your unintentional? I guess what I'm saying is, in 2026, if you ain't bringing high effort, don't step at all. Cause she ain't got time for it no more in this new year.
Yeah, you're lying. These modern women, they'll do that for a little bit. I want to kick it. I want to take care of myself, yada, yada, yada. They're going to do that for a little bit. But modern women, one thing they're not able to do, which is why you have shows full of drama. You have reality TV shows, Love Island and 90 Day Fiance and stuff like that. Because these are drama filled, and modern women are not able to mind their business. They're not able to mind their business. And so instead of me just sitting back and, just taking it easy, I'm going to be in a man's face. Maybe not in his face because that's too thirsty, but I'm going to be doing things to try to attract him because that's what I'm looking for. I have these toys at the house and, they work and they do their thing, but I'm looking for, if only for one night, Luther Vandross, the touch of a man. That's what I need right now. And it could be any man. And, honestly and truly, I might not be comfortable with that. But if I get a few drinks in me, I think I'll be okay. Not so much, though, that I don't go home with an ugly guy and wake up in the morning next to a bridge troll. But, if that guy from across the bar, across the ways, come talk to me, he can get it tonight. If Chad and Tyrone from across the way, if they come and talk to me, they can get it tonight. And it happens a lot more often than you think it does. That's why you have single mothers out there, because they're sleeping with the same few men, right? And I say the term few loosely because it's a lot more men out there, obviously, but it's a percentage of men that a lot of these ladies are sleeping with. A lot of these ladies are being involved with. Of course, Chad and Tyrone, they don't want a baby, so they're going to go out there and you have to raise a baby. That's something that you just have to do. So no, they're not going to mind their business for too long.
A woman asked me, why do men come in intense and then slowly fade out? And the truth is a little uncomfortable. In the beginning, you're being observed, not just liked. He's paying attention to how you move, how available you are, and how quickly you attach. Because early on, men don't just chase, they evaluate. Once he realizes she's not going anywhere, that's when that urgency disappears. Not the attraction, the urgency. And a lot of women get the two confused. You think he lost interest. No, he lost the pressure to keep showing up at that level. Because now he knows he has access. You'll be there. You'll respond. Because now he knows that he doesn't have to do much to keep you around. And once a man feels secure in your presence, he starts revealing his baseline effort. Not the version of him that was trying to impress you, but the version that's comfortable keeping you. It feels like a switch up now, but really, you just got introduced to the real version of him. So the real question isn't why did he change? It's why am I still accepting a version of him that doesn't match the one that showed up in the beginning? Peace and love. Like and follow.
At this point, y'all are choosing to be naive and not seeing the signs that someone doesn't like you. I just watched the video and y'all are talking about it seems like you have to beg someone to take you on a date. Why would you have to beg someone to take you on a date? If someone isn't willing to hang out with you outside of a house, why would you think they still like you? What is going on in your head that makes you think that they like you? And if they do take you on a date, but then it makes it seem like they're like waving the carrot, trying to make you chase after it, or hang the dollar in front of you, trying to chase after it just for a date. Why do you think they like you? Dating is not hard. Planning a date, figuring out what to do, being creative. To me, in my opinion, it's not a hard thing to do. But when I hear you guys talk about, oh, it's like I have to beg for a date, why would you talk to someone that you have to beg from a date from? It sounds like you're thirsty in the situation and you're chasing after someone. Why are y'all chasing after someone? Why are you chasing after someone that doesn't want to take the time out to take you on a date? Make it make sense.
This is how you get that man to chase you without ever leaving your pedestal. Because girl, after all, you're the diamond. But you also got a little danger in you, and that's what keeps him hooked. Stay with me here. I'm going to give you 6 compliments that will literally rewire how he sees you. Hi, I'm Julia. I talk about mindset, dating, beauty, and the glow up. So if that's your thing, you don't want to scroll. So you want him to chase you? Girl, you got to stop acting like you're above flirting. Because the women that men get obsessed with, oh, they flirt. They just don't overdo it. They don't perform. They just place things down on the table and let things happen. Let me show you what I mean. This is what you're going to say first. Number 1, I feel really calm around you. Now his nervous system is like, what? Wait, she's safe here. I'm safe here. And then he's going to start leaning in. Number 2, you're different. Congratulations. If you say that, you just unlocked his need to prove it. Number 3, I love how your mind works. Not his looks, not his biceps, not his abs, his brain. If you say that, you just separated yourself from the pack. Number 4, you're very intentional. I like that. Now he's thinking, oh yeah, and watch him become that for you. Number 5, you're trouble, but like the good kind. Now, if you say that, you've created tension with a little spark. We're flirting. We're not job interviewing here. Number 6, and this one's a little dangerous. I don't say this often, but I really enjoy you. Scarcity and warmth at the same time, that's what sticks. But here's where a lot of women tend to ruin it. They say all these wonderful things, and then they hover like a helicopter mom. Don't do that. You're going to drop it, and then you're going to go back to your life, whatever it was that you're doing. Get in, get out. Because a high value woman doesn't chase. She creates space to be chased. She knows how to pull someone in and let them come closer to her on their own. Now that's a difference. You're not here to convince that man. You're here to be experienced by him. And if you can master that, he's not just going to like you. He's going to be thinking about you long after you leave that room.
Ladies, have you ever wondered why some men choose Wonder Bread women over you? And when I say Wonder Bread, I'm just talking about girls who are a bit more plain, a bit more basic, average. And you, on the other hand, are like a divine French croissant and you're confused. You're like, I don't get it. Why are you going for Wonder Bread when I'm right here?
It's because they're not annoying, high maintenance, and have ridiculous expectations of us. They don't judge what we do for work. They don't judge our hobbies. They're not spending a majority of their time trying to impress a bunch of strangers with their high status and $10,000 Chanel bag no one gives a flying about. You know, the ones who think they're so beautiful they don't have to work, who have standards higher than Seth Rogen, who will blast you all over Instagram for walking up and asking what their name is. The ones who don't go around calling other women Wonder Bread. Speaking of, it's also very funny to me that she used the metaphor of divine French croissant to describe these women, because even though French croissants look nice, they're delicate, they taste good, they're also flaky and make a complete mess everywhere. So in other words, short-term pleasure, long-term mess.
Any person who's ever said the line, you don't even have any gold to dig and you're worried about gold diggers, this is one of the saddest videos I've ever seen. I don't know if you guys have seen this video, but this is a pretty common thing that a lot of women do. These girls are so desperate to get like $5 lemon drop shots that like the performance that these girls put on to get these free drinks, it is genuinely so sad.
Are you ordering?
Yeah, I'm waiting in line.
Oh, what'd you say?
Yeah, I'm waiting in line.
Oh, okay. Can I wait you? Good. We're trying to get you our off. I'm not getting anything crazy. Do you want to take with us? Do you want to take lemon coffee with us?
I'm okay. I'm going to try this friend.
Andrew. I'm Kylie.
Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I'm very nice to meet you. Take lemon coffee with us.
I'm okay. I'm going to stick with me. I'm going to stick with my usual.
What kind of shot do you like?
I don't normally get shots. I just drink.
I don't take coffee. I don't take coffee either, but I don't take shots either.
I think I'm okay.
That's good of you.
Huh?
I think that's good of you.
Can't do it. So, you're like the 5th girl who's done that tonight. I swear.
Like, you're telling me that going and acting out and having to converse with a bunch of random strangers that you're not even interested in, you'd rather do that than just pay the $5 to $6 that it takes to get the shot in the first place. This is why when I see those videos of girls being like, oh yeah, you don't have any gold to dig, like, you forget that the gold diggers for men that are in middle income are probably broke or also middle income. So they're not asking you to buy them a Ferrari. There are girls like this that are probably middle to lower class and then sit there and they don't have a lot of money. So they literally need you to pay for $5 to $6 shots and are willing to put on an Oscar-worthy performance just to go and get it. Like, they're really fiending for money that bad and their alcohol addiction is that bad that in order for them to go and get shots, they have to go and sit there and talk to a bunch of random strangers, then just putting their card down and getting some shots. Like, why the new term of financial celibacy for a lot of men is a realistic option. woman, because I don't think you should be investing any transactions, any money, before you actually see if somebody's interested in you. I don't care if it's a drink, maybe there's some reasoning for going on a date where you're talking this, but yes, there are women out there that are broke, just like these women, that literally will use you for $4 to $6 shots. Are willing to put on an Emmy award-winning performance just so they can get a drink. Like, this is so pathetic. But that's just my opinion. But hey, what do you think?
Women don't fear losing a good man. They fear being asked to grow up, so they choose someone who lets them stay the same. They call it love, but it's just comfort without accountability. That's why weak women, he'll expect you to show up to build to love.
Yeah.
When you can't do that, you'll call him toxic. Yeah, or too demanding. Right. Just because he asked you to be a better woman. Men don't shrink to fit her comfort zone. And sometimes you're not controlling, she's just not ready. The right woman will rise to meet your energy. Weak women fear strong men. Strong women respect them. So protect your standard, protect your peace, and never dim your light. The woman who deserves you won't need you to glow any less.
The shock that women have when their man finally walk out the door, most of the time a man will tell you, but you weren't trying to listen. A man just doesn't leave a relationship overnight. He ain't explaining himself, he just gonna go quiet. Men give us so many chances. We are so focused on ourselves that we don't even hear them. So here are 5 reasons that men have specifically told me of why they leave relationships. Number 1, a man gets tired of feeling unheard. He will bring things up to that woman about respect, communication, effort, and when nothing changes, he just stops repeating himself. Number 2, a man gets tired of explaining the same thing. At first, he's gonna talk, he's gonna repeat himself, but when he realizes that nothing he's saying is being taken seriously, he gonna stop talking and he gonna go mute. Number 3, he starts adjusting instead of arguing. Ain't no man gonna argue with no woman. Period. He's gonna have less effort, less emotion, less engagement. And none of this is because he doesn't care. He just knows that arguing ain't gonna change a thing. Number 4, he's gonna mentally check out before he physically leaves. Yep, he's still there physically in the house, but he is not present. The realization of that is that the connection is gone. And most women do not notice it until it's too late. Number 5, he realizes his peace is more.
If women can their children, men should at least be able to abandon their children.
And they do on the reg.
So if you're a man and you don't want to have a kid and the woman keeps the kid, that woman can force you through the state, through the government, to pay child support.
Well, nobody forced him to come inside of a woman.
Great. That's a great Bronze Age argument that we could use against women. Nobody forced the woman to have consensual sex. Nobody forced the woman to allow the man to come inside of her. These same arguments would have to be, you'd have to accept them for. Or is it only men that have responsibility? You wouldn't accept a pro-life argument of, you just shouldn't have opened your legs, you shouldn't have got pregnant, you should have used protection, you should have been on birth control. No, you probably believe that if a woman, let's say she had consensual sex with her boyfriend and she got pregnant, let's say it's an unwanted pregnancy, and let's say she's not ready or she's not financially ready, she just doesn't want the kid. I'm assuming your position would be, yeah, she can get them.
Yeah, it's her body.
Okay, so why don't you grant that same exemption to men?
You asking a dumb question, Brian. Why don't you grant that same exemption to men? Why would they? Because then it wouldn't be in their favor. Why would women, modern women, grant any exemption to men? Any understanding to men? It wouldn't be in their favor. That's why they don't do it. That's why you have modern women talking about, I want a man to be chivalrous. I want a man to act traditionally. I want a man to do all of these things. That's why you have that. That's why they say that. But then, I when it comes to dating, I'm a traditional person. But, when it comes to other things, I'm more progressive and I'm more forward. I'm more modern in that way. Exactly. Because I want the traditional things. I want this to continue happening. When I come home, I want to be able to do whatever I want to do, how I want to do it, when I want to do it. But, when I get out there, or when me and my man are out of the house, I want to be seen as the powerful one, not even equal. I want to be seen as the leader in this relationship, even though it's the man that's doing most of the work.